Hi guys, I'm Kasha. Welcome to the channel and welcome to our coffee times together. Today I am bringing you my TBR pile for the month of September, which includes the books that I will be reading for the Monsterathon.
It's coffee time!
So the Monsterathon is a 1 month long readathon, and it is based on books that include monsters. These can be horror books, or it can be books that just include maybe creatures, even though they're not maybe 100% horror. However, you know me guys, I would like to read horror, and I am joining this year the Monsterathon as a co-host, and it's going to be so much fun because we are gonna have challenges, we're gonna have giveaways, we're even going to probably stream some movies and watch them with you guys if everything works out. I am going to leave down below all the information related to the Monsterathon, how you can join, the teams, the creator, everything, so that you can check it out and join us. Please join your team, pick your team from the 3 that are available, and together we can terrorize some villagers. But before we go to the books, and if you love horror, please consider subscribing to the channel and also clicking the notification bell so you don't miss any more coffee times. So last year we had a group book basically, which was a short stories compilation, and this year we wanted to do that as well, to have a book where we would have to read a couple of short stories from. And the book that we have chosen is How to Recognize a Demon Has Become Your Friend by Linda Addison. So each team will be assigned 1 short story that is included in this book. However, for people that do not have access to this book, do not worry, we will provide you with a link of a free book that you can then choose to read some short stories from. I am going to be part of the group The Beasts. So the books that I'm going to be reading are 4 books that fit the 4 challenges. The first challenge is Whispering Woods, to read a book that is underhyped or that you haven't heard much about. And for that I'm gonna pick a book that I've been meaning to read for the longest time. And honestly, since I joined BookTube, I've never heard anybody mentioning this book. So I think it fits this category pretty well. And that is This Is Not a Test by Courtney Summers, and this is a YA horror about zombies. Great. So I believe our characters are in a high school when the zombie apocalypse, basically the outbreak, happens on the outside and they have to survive. So I don't know, I'm hoping I'm gonna love it. I picked up this book some time ago and it's been a possibility on my TBR piles for a while, but then it never happened. We all have those books. I know you understand what I'm saying. So I think this is now the time, the perfect time for me to finally read it. The second challenge is Hydra's Hangout. Read a book based on mythology or mythological creatures. So for this one I'm gonna stretch it a little bit because I'm gonna be reading Dracula's Child by G.S. Barnes, and the mythological creature is going to be, in this case for me, vampires. I'm hoping there's gonna be vampires in this book because the plot sounds a little bit like more of an exploration of family and grief and moving on with your life, having a traumatic past. I mean, this sounds really intense, even though it's supposed to take place years after Dracula by Bram Stoker. It is under the category of horror, so that's what I'm hoping, that I'm still gonna be able to see creatures here in this book. We're following Jonathan and Mina Harper years, like I said, after the events of Dracula by Bram Stoker, and they have kids now and they are having trouble moving on with their lives, because their past always comes back to haunt them. So apparently Jonathan is turning a little bit too much into the drinking and Mina feels very lonely, very sad. So I don't really know what to expect from this book, but it is a new release and I did get a copy from NetGalley. So this is the one that I'm gonna be checking out. So for the third challenge, it is LAIR of the Babadook. read a book that has LGBTQ plus representation. And for this, I'm going to choose a novella that has been on my wish list for a long time, and I finally got it from my Kindle, and that is Camp Carnage by Elliot Arthur and Joshua Winning. So this is based on the summer of 1986 in a camp called Camp Genesis, and this is the true hell. It's basically a camp for homosexual teenagers that need to be converted back into being straight. Like, the audacity of these camps, it is so sad that those camps probably even exist. Like, it is just disgusting. But anyways, I'm still super excited to check out this novella. I think it's going to have really good representation. And the horror part of the novella, apart from this Camp Genesis, which is already horrendous, it's that at some point people from the camp start to go missing. So what's happening? Who's taking these kids? And the last prompt for my team is MAH SWAMP, which is basically to pick a book whose cover you love, you know, that has a really pretty cover. And for that, I have picked up another book that has been on my TBR for the longest time, and I really just want to check it out to see if I like it or not. And that is Devil in Ohio by Daria Polatin. Like, this cover is beautiful. Sadly, the ratings on Goodreads are not great, and it's been on my shelves for a long time, so I think it's time for me to read it. So the story is about a 15-year-old girl that goes back home one day after school, and her mom, who is a psychologist at a hospital, has taken home a patient that is going to stay with them for a couple of days. And this is another girl that apparently slowly but surely starts to take over her own life. I don't know, it sounded interesting when I purchased it. So I don't know, I think it's time to give it a go and see if I like it or not. So these are the books that I'm going to be reading for the Monsterathon, but I have included also a couple of extra books for the month of September. The first one is going to be Pet. This is a YA fantasy that includes LGBT characters. All I know is that it's going to explore who the real monsters are. I'm hoping it's going to be hard-hitting but also beautiful. It's a short book, and this is a book that I've been meaning to read for the longest time, and since my friend Ola has already read it in the month of August, I want to read it at the beginning of September so that we can chit-chat and discuss the book. Then, of course, this month of September, there is a book that I have to read. I must read this book, and that is The Hollow Ones by Guillermo del Toro and Chuck Hogan. They are the authors that already co-wrote together the Strain trilogy, and this is a book that I just got in the mail. I haven't even held it for you guys, but I have to read it because it's Guillermo del Toro. So the story is about a rookie FBI agent that, when she's on a mission with her partner starts to act really weird. He becomes really violent, and she is left without a choice, so she has to shoot him and ends up killing him. So she remembers that day seeing a weird shadow kind of next to her partner, and she's having trouble, you know, kind of processing everything that happened that day. And then she also wants to help, though, so she wants to help to clean his space, you know, at work, his desk and stuff, and then she makes some interesting discoveries there. And the last one that I put on my TBR pile, because this is also one of those books that I always put on my TBR pile and never get to, and September is the month that I'm gonna try to get to all of those. So that one is Flowers in the Attic by Virginia Andrews, VC Andrews. This is one that I have not read, and you know, I think it's about time because it's one of those classics. So this is about a woman that she, in order to get a fortune, she hides her children, I believe, in the attic. That's all I know. I don't want to, you know, spoil myself. But I know it's a classic. VC Andrews is a well-known author in the horror community, and so this is one that I still have not read, and I mean, the shame. So I really need to get to it. Alright guys, so this is my TBR pile for the month of September, including my Monsterathon TBR pile. I hope that you enjoyed the video. Like I said, down below you're gonna find all the info for the Monsterathon, so please join us. Let me know down below in a comment which team you have decided to choose. Thanks so much for watching. Please give the video a big thumbs up for support. If you want to follow me on the social media, as always, the links are down below, and I hope to see you all in the next coffee time. Bye!